Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Haseritt deck profile. This is from the new, or at least the newest Lyrical Monasterio set, the Summertime Memories. This one focuses on being able to call units out with some pretty big powers, then return them to the bottom of the deck, only to replace them with other units you may call out, including ones from the field. It's a really strong pressure deck, just trying to finish up all the decks that I haven't done deck profiles yet from the newest Lyrical Monasterio set, and this was one that I definitely avoided, but finally got around to finishing the majority of it. Only missing a few cards for it because I'm not, really planning on using this deck at all, but wanted to focus on what I would use for the actual deck profile. So let's go ahead and get started with it. So for the ride deck, our grade 0 is Brand New Start Haseritt. I believe it's a play on words, obviously, for rabbit. But when wrote upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Bouncy Gate Haseritt. When this unit is wrote upon by a grade 2 with Haseritt in its card name, choose up to one grade 2 or less normal unit from your hand, call it to rear until end of turn. It gets plus 2,000, and at the end of the battle, this unit attacked Vanguard, draw a card, and put this unit on the bottom of your deck. So this comes down to the pressure that you can do with this card, being able to have that pressure from your hand, and then also make up for it with a draw from your deck after it goes to the bottom. Our grade 2 is Undecided True White Haseritt. When this unit is wrote upon by a grade 3 with Haseritt in its card name, Soul Blast 1, choose up to one grade 3 or less card from your hand, call it to rear, and if you called a card, you draw a card. So it's just draw power for that option of being able to use and call out a grade 3 or less unit onto the field and give you more draw power along with the consistency for just being able to call out that unit. Our main go-to grade 3 in the deck is Iridescence Palette Haseritt. Along with the added pressure that the ride deck provides, this card also just adds more in terms for the numbers that you can do with the deck as well. So along with the copy from the ride deck, we are also just running 3 additional copies in the deck. With this card on Vanguard, once per turn, you can counter +1, choose up to 5 of your normal units on rear. Until end of turn, they get plus 2,000, and on rear, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked to Vanguard, draw a card, put this unit on the bottom of your deck. If you chose 3 or more cards, this unit gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. So you choose normal unit rear guards, so then you have that option to be able to have those units return to the bottom of the deck to give you cards in your hand for more of a defensive playstyle, which is good because then you can get around decks like Prison that would put them in the prison zone, keeping the cards in your hand for you to use, or to be retired from your opponent's own cards and any other card abilities that would affect units you have on the field. Moving on now to the grade 2s. I run 4 copies of Shape of Cat's Cradle Sylphia. On rear, once per turn, when your other rear guard is put on the bottom of your deck during the battle phase, you can Soul Blast 1. This unit gets plus 10,000 till end of turn. So it's just a grade 2 with 8k power, but can make up for it for the plus 10k that I can easily get since you're going off of the main play style of the Haseritt deck to begin with. And on rear, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard and it hit. You put this unit on the bottom of your deck to draw a card and countercharge 1. This can make up for the Counterblast, which can get pretty heavy with cards like your Haseritt being the main focus playstyle that you do in the deck, and then just having the chance with the Persona Ride along with this card's plus 10,000 to reach 28k alone means you can have this unit hit for those big numbers just to go onto the bottom of the deck to make up for it with a draw and a countercharge. I also have 3 copies of the adorable shooter Clanfell. This may potentially be 4 copies. If you were to do so, you can drop the number of the next card that I run the deck. When this unit is placed on rear from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Haseritt in its card name, put a grade 2 or less card from your hand into your soul. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to one grade 3 with 12k or less, grade 2 with 9k or less, or grade 1 with 7k or less. From one of them, call it to rear and shuffle your deck. If you do not call a card, you draw a card. So this makes up for it, sort of the fact that these cards do have less power for their playstyle. So you can still call cards out like Sylphia onto the field. Obviously, you can't call Clanfell, and even if you did, she has to be placed from the hand to use her card ability, but it can help build up the soul and just give you more of a search for other units for you to call out onto the field. If you were to run 4 copies of that card, you can reduce the number of Calm Benevolence Maim, which I'm also running 4 copies of in the deck. When this unit is placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard with Haseritt in its card name, it gets plus 5,000 until end of turn. It's just another power boost card, but being an 8k grade 2 can also be one of the targets for you to use with Clanfell in the deck. If you wanted to run 4 Clanfell, you can just drop the number of Maim, because then you just have more search targets for you to use your Clanfell in the deck and then be able to hit your Maim for one of the cards to call out onto the field and get plus 5,000 power, since it's just when it's placed on rear. It doesn't have to be placed from hand or anything like that. Moving on now to the grade 1s, I run 4 copies of any color Bubbles Shailene. On rare, when this unit boosts to rear guard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Haseritt and its card name, this unit gets plus 5,000 till end of battle. And at the end of that battle, you can soul boss 1, choose one of your back row center rear guards, and move it to an open rear guard. So you can keep one of your rear guards behind your Vanguard, just for you to be able to then move it with your Shailene to an open rear guard for you to attack. And this could be one of the cards that you target with Haseritt to get power to additionally have, and then if you persona ride, the front row units will still get that plus 10 power thanks to this unit. So Shailene is just another setup card. She has 6,000 power, so she's also another target that you can use with cards like Clanfell on the field. So just all the better for you to have that play style to use, and also having this unit get plus 5,000 makes up for the fact that she is only a 6k at the end. And I also run 4 copies of Munch Lunch Kalina. When your rear guard is put on the bottom of your deck during your battle phase, if you have a Vanguard with Haseritt and its card name, this unit gets plus 5,000 to end of turn. Another 6k grade 1, but it can be made up easily for what the main purpose of the deck is meant to do, putting units on the bottom of the deck, and it gets plus 5,000. And when your rear guard is put on the bottom of your deck, it is not a once per turn, so the more you build this card up, Kalina could even be a unit behind your Vanguard circle if you return the front 2 rear guards, and then you move it with cards like Shailene. You can have this card be a 16k attacker on the front row. If it was additional power after it attacked, you could have 3 cards put on the bottom of the deck with Haseritt to get the additional draw power. And also for some of the other grade 1s, 4 copies of Return Trip of the Crimson Hour, Maryland. When this unit is boosted, if your rear guard was put on the bottom of your deck this turn, it gets plus 5,000 until end of battle. So it is an 8k grade 1, so sadly you can't target it with your option for Clanfell, since it has to be a 7k or less card from among them. But still, just good consistency for the power boost, since you're almost doing what's guaranteed for this deck when a rear guard is put on the bottom of the deck, giving this unit plus 5,000 power when it boosts, having a better boost target for your Vanguard to use also. And then for the last of the grade 1s, just 4 of the Sentinel. If you wanted to run Elementaria Sanctitude, you could just take out 1 copy of the Sentinel for that Blitz order to use in the deck as well. Would like a full playset of Soapy Splash, Riviana. Just having the rabbit theme I think is the most fitting to use with the Haseritt deck, since it is also a rabbit. But moving on now to the trigger lineup, I'm running 6 criticals, so 4 copies of the original style Yishuka and 2 Gluttonora. If you have the ability triggers, you can always put them in for these spots in the deck also. And then we're also going with the 3 front trigger and the 2 draws, just for a little more consistency depending on the play style you want to go for. If you do end up attacking with your Vanguard first, the front trigger could add easy pressure for that as well. If you're going for more of a power to the booster when your rear guards attack first with your Haseritt, for the option of it just being a once per turn on the Vanguard circle skill. It all depends on what you use. You could have the hand consistency with the draw, and then the pressure for the front row with the front. And then for the heals, just 4 Peaceful Garden Anika, just being another animal one, is very fitting. Same with the Overtrigger, which is the fantastic Fernail Katrina, since the Overtriggers are all the same for the Lyrical Monasterio cards. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, it was an interesting take on the deck that focuses on returning units to the bottom of the deck to power up other ones on the field, and also protecting your own units by still replenishing your hand. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.